Well, every now and then, Shelley Wynter gets to go on CNN, and then he reminds them why he only gets to come every now and then. Here's what he said.
This race is between House African Americans and field African Americans, and the field African Americans are going for Donald Trump. I'm talking about your men who, I'm talking about your men who build, your men who put things together, your men who work with their hands, your men who do things, not the men who push paper, or the men who are connected to power and want to continue to be connected to power.
Are you denigrating African American men who are professionals who work in white collar jobs? Is that what I'm hearing from you, or
no?
I'm just trying to understand, is Shelley the House one or the field one? I'm just trying to understand that part. I'm just trying to understand. We have someone who's spitting. I'm just trying to understand the one that's spitting talking points right now. Are you the House Negro or the field Negro that you're referring to? So I just want to make sure. Your question was about denigrating black people. That literally was your question. You have a Republican fool who is talking right now about, you literally just said that black men.
It's a damn shame. So first of all, the conversation should be about policies that impact communities at large. And then you specify demographics inside of the actual policy effect. If there's a policy that a particular group benefits from, you talk about that policy. Policy. That's how politics is supposed to be played. This whole concept about field Negroes against House Negroes is, one, divisive, and two, factually inaccurate. This was a common thought or theme in our understanding of slave tactics during the time. The reality is that both were slaves. The reality is also, if you look at the history, that many of those who remain closer to the house of the slave owner were the ones feeding important information to those who worked in the field in order for safety after escape to be accomplished. Read the history. Look at the history of Harriet Tubman. You will see that the network depended on those who worked inside of the house in order to get pertinent information to those who worked in the field. And many times, those who worked in the house were beaten severely because they remained after those who worked in the field escaped. Oh, it's all in the history. So it's a misnomer to even contextualize this as somehow divisive, because reality is we all work together. We all work together. Songs like Follow the Drinking Gourd as a code to let people know who are in the field and in the house that the freedom was about to come, called it the Underground Railroad, et cetera. So these things are part of the historical context, number one. Number two, to contextualize who supports Trump as being the workers, the black men who are workers, is a fallacy because it factually is inaccurate. The vast majority of working class black men, if you want to utilize the terminology, are not supporting Trump. The vast majority are supporting Harris based on statistical data, the same data that you were citing, same data that they're talking from. It also is true that those who you would consider to be a paper pusher, I guess yourself would be included, dear brother, because I haven't seen you build a damn thing. You are a radio host. You push paper. You send emails to people and do shows, just like other folk in this industry. That they too, black men voted the majority for the Democratic candidate. That's probably because black men make more money when a Democrat is president. Black men actually have more access to higher education when a Democrat is president. Black men are able to pay less taxes when a Democrat is president. You can go ahead and check all my information out on Pew Research. All right, Francesca, thoughts here.
He compared voters to slaves. He compared black voters to slaves. That's it. Like, I mean, you don't have to parse anything. I can't believe you're doing that. And then to sort of claim like one category as like a badge of honor. Like, are you kidding me? What are we doing? And also there's just nothing more of a like nothing more emblematic of a conservative Black commentator than this kind of racist, disrespectful comment, which throws the entire Black community under the bus, is incredibly disrespectful. But that's how this guy gets ahead. That's how Shelley's going to be asked onto the conservative shows, because he's willing to denigrate himself and the whole community and say, yeah, ultimately we are, if you're putting it in slave terms, this is where we are, which is exactly where MAGA and rich white oligarchs and Donald Trump want them. They're very comfortable with the categorization of people and, of formerly enslaved people, especially. It's just this, I can't even believe this, but it tells you all you need to know about the levels of which Democrats let us down a lot of times. But as you pointed out, there is just stats about the broad prosperity when a Democrat is in power versus MAGA that's like, oh yeah, Black Americans love me because of my gold shoes and I've got felonies, like it's so racist, and you can only participate in it if you assume that racism and whitewash it.
Yeah. And it's also lazy commentary to me because it forces the conversation to elements that have nothing to do with policies that have either been delivered or not delivered. And that should be the crux of the conversation. Anybody can talk about plantation this and non-plantation that. Is ridiculous conversation in a political argument. If you want to make a political argument, there's plenty of stuff Democrats have left on the table for you to have ammunition to make a political argument. All you got to do is research it some. That's why I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker, because policy at the beginning and end of the day is where it's at.